make America great again. Make you proud to be American. Working together with all our might. We're gonna build it and we'll do it right. Standing united, we'll never fall. Undivided and one for all. Make it stronger.
Rejoice and be glad in it. We have a real opportunity today to rejoice because we're celebrating our next county executive in Baltimore County, Mr. Darren Badillo.
Foremost, I'm Senator Johnny Sowling, and I'd love for everybody to stand up and we are going to sing the national anthem. And guess what? You are going to join with me and sing this, the greatest song in the world that everybody knows, to brag about this country, our national anthem. Let's all sing, put our hands to our hearts, and I want to hear you, because I got the mic, I know you're going to hear me. So you ready? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, stay was that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right. We have a candidate now that wants to do that. He wants to reduce taxes. He wants to make sure that you get the best health care that you could ever get. He wants to make sure that our businesses are profitable and don't lose money. That our kids get the best education in the world. That's right. And we invest in them and not the union. We love our kids. They are our future. They are our people, our young people. They are going to be down the road fighting for our country. They are the ones going to be making decisions for us. And we need to realize one thing. We have a person right now, the first day he went in office, he taxed us. He taxed our property. Our property is something that we invest in and we do more. We got a person right now that I believe wants to reduce our taxes. Matter of fact, he wants to reduce our taxes. He wants to do things in a way that is true American, to invest in it, to do great things. And I'm here to tell you today that nobody heard this yet, but they hear it now. I, as State Senator Johnny Sowling, endorse Darren Badillo. Why? Because I believe in his heart and his values. They're true to his word. He's not just a man, he's a man of God. And he believes in God and country. That's the priority we have. So I'm here today, if you all can do one thing, each and every day and every morning. Do what Jesus did. Start your day off with prayer. Go to the Father. Ask him for wisdom and direction and for guidance. But ask it for Darren Badillo, our next county executive. I want to thank every one of you for being here today. But this is your challenge, and mine too. We need volunteers. We need people in parades. We need people that when they're going to be going and voting, you need to stand there. You need to have a Darren Badillo sign, a Darren Badillo shirt. They're out there saying, guess what? You want change? You want real change? You want a person that's going to be beside you, that's going to fight for you? you need this man right here, Darren Badillo. And as you can go out, you can volunteer for him and get your neighbor, get one more person. Every person here, get one more person to volunteer. What a difference we can make, because that person gets somebody else and that person gets someone else. Let's be the example. Let's show them what we're all about. We are true Americans to the letter. More than anything, I pray for you, Darren. And I pray God will raise you in a way that you've never been risen before. And I pray that God would anoint you and bless you in ways that you've never been before. And I mean that. And you're part of my prayers and my family. God bless you. God bless you all. And here's my good friend and delegate, Rick Metzger.
Got to put it down for the little guy. I want to take a moment just right now to thank, and everybody needs to thank the Baker family for opening their home up today. What a joy. This is a real treat. And this is how it's done. Grassroots. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Baker. I'm going to come out here one day and have coffee and just look out over the field. That's a real treat. I have to tell you that it's been about 2 years that I met Darren a couple of years ago. And we met at the parade. And there was an incident happened and took place, and he invited so many political people to come to his event that he has at Rosedale Baptist Church every Friday night. He helps young people. People don't know that, but he helps them to get on the right way. And I was the only one who showed up.
That's right.
And I saw right then in him that he had leadership ability that I haven't seen in people in a long, long time. And I began to meet with him. I told him that I meet, but his cost is a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Is that right?
That's right.
And he brought me a cup of coffee, and we had coffee, and we sat. And from that time, we opened up with prayer. And I believe that things are bathed in prayer for a purpose. And months and weeks went by, and we visited, and we talked, and we chatted. And I felt as though he needed to be and a step further. And when he called me and he said he wants to run for Baltimore County Executive, and what did I say? Jump in.
That's right.
Jump in. Because first of all, it's America. And I really believe, truly believe, that the red wave, and ma'am, you got the perfect dress on, the red wave is coming. The red wave is coming, and I truly believe that the time for the Baltimore County Executive to change is now. Let me tell you why. Within a week, you had the FOP said to the county executive, the police chief has to go. Within the next several days, the county council voted that the school superintendent has to go. That's two of your major offices that are in disarray. There's no excitement. We left the police department this afternoon, and by the way, people don't know this, but Darren and the delegate and the senator and I, we fed 25 lunches at precinct 11 in Essex today for the police, and they really appreciate it. The morale, we was able to talk to them, the morale is so low within the police department that they just want to do something. So when I talked to Darren and got involved, and I really got behind him, and I said, I will support you 100%. And then at the last moment, there was a gentleman that ran, had him on the radio 3 or 4 times, and then turned around and had him MC an event, and then 2 hours before the deadline, he said, I'm the one that can save Baltimore County. Where is loyalty? My loyalty is in Darren Badillo, right there, who is going to be the county executive. And I, on my Facebook page the other night, I publicly endorsed Darren because I felt like he's a man of God's own heart. He's got a man of vision, a man of leadership, and he has integrity. And his family and friends, and I supported him and endorsed him. Well, that other candidate right now is livid at Delegate Rick Metzger because I'm supporting this man who I believe is on the potter's wheel for the next chapter of his life, and that's to be the Baltimore County Executive. And whatever we need to do to help him, we need to do it. So I'm saying this tonight, I know that many of you have already contributed to his campaign, but I will tell you, whatever it was, you need to stretch your faith a little bit tonight. And I tell people this all the time. I can go to a church and raise an offering for a pastor. But if it's asking for Rick Metzger to ask for $2, I can't do it. But I can do it for other people. So I'm asking you tonight, when you invest in Darren, you're not just investing in the campaign. I truly believe you're investing in a real harvest, because your fields are ripe and it's time to invest and do the right thing and stretch your faith tonight. Stretch your faith. And if it's $80, do $160. If it's $160, just double it and see what the Lord will do. My name is Rick Metzger. Stick with Rick. And there's my friend Al Redmer in the back there. God bless you, Al. What a treat. What a treat. I love Al Redmer, and I know he's going to say a word or two, but Johnny Sowling and I, we need to get to Dundalk real quick, so God bless you.
This evening, I'd first like to call Michelle Chrisman, who's a candidate for State Senate, District 35, in Hartford and Cecil counties. Michelle, could you please come up?
Michelle, all right.
Hi, I am Michelle Chrisman. I'm running for Maryland State Senate District 35, and I'm so excited to be here to celebrate and to honor Darren Badillo. He is wonderful. He's going to be an exceptional Baltimore County executive. I've got to say that, on a daily basis, he sends me motivational videos every single morning. I get up early between 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I do my gratitude list, and I decide where my life moves forward. And Darren has been such a big part of that, because he is always inspiring people. He's lifting people up. He works hard. He shows that due diligence and that ability to become a very strong leader as Baltimore County executive. And I want to share a few statistics with you. There are so many different avenues that we as elected officials, once I become senator, will have our ability to empower and affect change. And this is happening right now as we speak. Fuel prices are up 106%. Eggs are up 32%. Fresh and frozen chicken is up 19.3%. Milk is up 15%. Bacon up 15.6%. And baby food up 13%. Many moms can't find formula on the grocery store shelves to even feed their babies because it's being sent down to the borders. These political establishments that have been set up have literally set us up to fail. And we're seeing it big time in the area for farmers. They have skyrocketed prices for fertilizer, fuel, and also feed. And many farmers are now reaching the breaking point. And I ask you to think about this. When you stand in front of the everyday American person, and I've heard people at budget meetings, the older population saying, I'm on a fixed income. I can't afford the extra price in gas. I can't afford the extra price in food. And they are right now having to choose between food and fuel. And I can tell you that when it comes time to standing up for my constituents and Darren Badillo as the next Baltimore County executive, that we will be on the front line, making sure that we set our constituents up to win, because that is why we're here. We're here to build relationships, become very strong, and to connect people to move forward and do the right thing. So I am so proud of you, Darren. I wish you the absolute best. Thank you for the friendship, and I look forward to watching you continue to grow and become the most amazing Baltimore County executive that we've ever seen. And you are wonderful, and thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Our next speaker will be Roya Hanna. She's the candidate for Baltimore City for State's Attorney.
Good evening, everyone. As Michelle said, I'm Roya Hanna, and I'm running for Baltimore City State's Attorney to unseat Marilyn Mosby.
Woo!
Yes, I know. We're all very grateful for that possibility. But I met Darren a couple of months ago on the campaign trail, and he called me a couple weeks later, and he said, I wanted to reach out because I sensed that you were for the people. And I was so grateful that he said that, because that was the exact impression that I got from him. And, we discussed a problem that one of his constituents was having and different ways that the constituent could potentially solve that problem. And it really struck me in that conversation that he was listening to people on the campaign trail, not just telling them what they wanted to hear, but actually trying to come up with creative solutions to solve the problem. And, you know, it also struck me that he was willing to reach out to a city person who obviously wouldn't have had that great of an influence in the county and just try to find common solutions to get all of our problems done, because we all know that the city's problems bleed into the county and we have to work together. So I'm very grateful to be here and to just say thank you for being for the people and for working for your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Roya. Our next speaker will be Mr. Al Redmer. He's the former delegate and House Minority Leader. He's also the Commissioner for the Maryland Insurance Administration, and he ran for County Executive 4 years ago. So welcome to Al Redmer.
Thank you, and good evening. And as you just heard, I am a has-been on multiple levels. But the first thing I'd like to do is thank the Bakers for hosting this event. What an incredible venue for an event like this. And you know, I'm not running for anything, but if you want to host a meet and greet for me, I'd love to come back. I'd love to come back. I have a quick commercial. My nephew, Steve Redmer, is a candidate for the House of Delegates in District 7A. And I should be out tonight campaigning for him, but I'm not. I'm here because you're here, because Darren's running for county executive, and this race is critically important. And thank you for being here. Now, let me start with a history lesson. We've had a Baltimore County executive, I think, for 60 years. And not one time in the history of the office has anybody been elected county executive without first receiving their nomination in a primary. So we can talk about why Darren should be elected county executive in November, but that's premature. Johnny O is irrelevant for this conversation. Darren doesn't have a chance to beat anybody unless and until he wins the nomination in July 19th. And that's why I am here. This election is critically important. Now, as Delegate Rick Metzger said, Darren and a couple of competitors were running in the race, and at the very last minute, somebody else showed up to file. Now, the somebody else that showed up to file has had a political career spanning 40 years. As a matter of fact, was first elected, I think, in 1982 as a Democrat in Baltimore City, and has been in and around politics forever. And in those 40 years, other than being elected a couple times, has never achieved anything in public office. No landmark legislation, no great accomplishments for the community. All he does is bloviate. He's got a radio show, and he's always gotten plenty of press. And the reason he gets plenty of press is because he's outlandish, he's outrageous, and will say anything at any time. So the reporters love that because it's very entertaining. Now, here's the problem. Not only is he outlandish, not only has he never been successful, he doesn't work well with anybody. The Democrats in the legislature hated him. The Republicans in the legislature didn't like him, wouldn't work with him. Now think about it. How can somebody like that be effective anywhere, let alone running a county, let alone getting elected as county executive? So it is absolutely critical to the election in November that we first have to win the election in July. Now, we may have a few folks here that are Democrats. We all love Democrats. You need to work with Democrats to get anything done. if you are here tonight and you're a Democrat, when you go home, please register as a Republican so that you can vote in the primary in July. Now, you can vote in the primary in July as a Republican. If you're not happy and you want to go back to becoming a Democrat or an independent, have at it. That's okay. Now, 4 years ago, now the history repeats itself. 4 years ago, I was a candidate for Baltimore County Executive, and I had to run against this same guy in the primary. And like now, nobody thought I could win because this other guy had so much better name recognition. He's on the radio all the time. Everybody knows who he is because he's been bloviating for 40 years. Much better name recognition. Now, we won, and we won big. But the only reason we won is because we were able to raise money. We were able to generate literally hundreds of volunteers, got signed locations, and we outworked him. That's the formula for success. So as Rick Metzger said, if he gave 50, give another 50. If he gave 100, give another 100. There's a couple more weeks left. We need to raise money. We need to get more volunteers. We need to work the polls. It is critically important that the right guy get nominated in July.
Wow.
So I'm done. My piece has been said. Again, it's critical that you get out to vote. We do the right thing on July 19th. And again, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
I'd like to next introduce Mr. Tony DeCesar. He's a candidate for the Central Committee, Councilmanic District 3.
They always say they save the best for last, right? So, I want everybody to think about where you were a year ago and what was going on, okay? Because I know where I was a year ago. I didn't know Darren a year ago, didn't know anything about politics, didn't even know where I voted. Wasn't even a Republican. I was an independent. You want my vote? Earn it, right? So I got a little bit fed up, and I think we can all agree we're pretty fed up, right? Is there anybody here that's not fed up?
No.
Right, we're all fed up. So I got involved with the grassroots organization, the Patriot Club. I see many people here that have been to our events or whatever, which are just people that were fed up, that were ready for change. So we focus on three things: kids in schools, election integrity, and pro-law enforcement. So I get roped into doing a voter integrity event. I sit down, and there's this guy sitting next to me, and he introduces himself. He says, "Hi, I'm Darren Badillo. I'm running for county executive." And I looked at Darren, and I said, "Good for you." I had no idea what I was working with, right? So the whole point of what we do from a grassroots level, and the reason I'm running for Central Committee, which I didn't even know what Central Committee was a year ago. And so I went to a meeting, and I found out, wow, this is kind of like the foundation of where things start, okay? When I met Darren, I had no idea what his platform was. I didn't know who he was. We had a Patriot Club meeting a couple weeks later, and lo and behold, Darren shows up. "Hey, it's Darren. Remember me?" I said, "Yeah." We talked a little bit. He spoke for a while. A few weeks later, I go to another event. Boom, here's Darren again. The next Patriot Club meeting, there's Darren. Darren was stalking me. No, Darren wasn't stalking me. Darren was out working everybody else, okay? That's what he's done since the day I met him. My fundamental, the things I build my whole platform on are courage, discipline, and loyalty. It doesn't matter if it's in business, relationships, whatever. And you got to earn that. And Darren, from that very first day, has proven himself again and again and again. And that's why when he said to me, he goes, "Hey, I'd like to speak to your people. I'd like to come to your meeting. I want to learn more. I want to educate people," or whatever. He's not out there slandering people. He's not out there talking badly about his competitors or the other candidates or whatever. He sticks to his game. And then, out of nowhere, everybody starts attacking Darren. Okay? And I'm going, well, we must be over the target. We're where we need to be. So when I see what he's gone through from the time that I met him last fall to where he is now and what he's done and how much he's worked. And I mean, I was in Dundalk last night. I turn around, there's Darren. Oh, see you tomorrow at some other event, Darren. My wife's like, what's going on with you and Darren? Truth be told is that he's outworking me. And what we have to do, even from a grassroots fundamental level, is that the establishment has failed all of us from the top down. All right? And Darren has said that with the mask mandates, with all the forced mandates on the kids and the schools and everything else. And he's been speaking out about that for a long time. All right? That's the establishment failing the people. We have spoken and no one has listened. He has been at every event. So what you need to do is that you need to educate the people in your world. The Patriot Club was a group of 20 people in a basement in February of 2021. All right? There's over 2,000 of them now. And they all showed up for a reason, because they were fed up and it was all word of mouth. This election does need money. We got to contribute, but it's also getting the word out. That's to your friends, through social media, whatever it may be. Okay? That's how we're going to win it. It's been done in the past. It can be done again. He's going to be the next county executive. Thank you.
You're up.
Thank you, Tony. Finally, I'd like to introduce our special guest, Darren Badillo.
I want to first thank the Baker family for hosting this event tonight. You guys have such a beautiful house. Thank you for opening up to me, my friends, and my supporters. Thank you. I want to thank my wife and my kids for everything. I know that I wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. At times I don't get home till 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I kiss my kids in the morning while they're sleeping, and I kiss them while they're sleeping in bed at night. But they support me, and they're with me 100%. I also want to thank you. I want to thank my friends, family, and volunteers, and those that contribute to my campaign. And you're here today sharing this special moment with me. Thank you very much. My name is Darren Badillo, and I will be the next Baltimore County executive. I'm here to fully fund the police and here to fight and make sure our children have a good education and more parental involvement. I love serving our community. I'm a deacon at Rosedale Baptist Church. I'm a director of operations for the Baltimore Youth Coalition. Also, I'm a small partner with Lunch for Leos, where we deliver lunches to the police officers in Baltimore County. We deliver lunches to the Woodlawn location, the Catonsville precinct, White Marsh, and today we actually delivered lunches to our Essex precinct. And I think it's very important that our police officers know and feel that we support them and we're here to encourage them. This past year, like I said, every day, nonstop, I have to say, and I can honestly say, we have the hardest working campaign in Baltimore County, maybe even Maryland and the rest of the country. Nobody's working harder than us, and I can humbly say that. We knocked on over 11,000 doors, visited many business owners, and one thing is clear. The people are demanding change. The people want change. They're tired of the establishment. They're tired of those that are connected. They're tired of those taking care of their friends and not taking care of the people. And I make a pledge today that I will always put Baltimore County residents first. And I have a plan how we can make Baltimore County first. And I believe it starts with economic development. I believe it's with help supporting our small businesses, helping them to continue to grow and thrive. It's crazy how I knock on many businesses' doors and the business owners are the ones working the front desk. I was talking to a business owner of a 7-Eleven. He said, Darren, my business is so successful. They want me to open up 2 more, but I can't because I don't have enough help to open it up. But we see the current county executive giving tax breaks to developers and other huge corporations. What I think we need to do is we need to put our small businesses back on Main Street. We need to make sure we help them continue to grow and thrive. We need to connect the unemployed with the employers. I think it's very simple. I think what we need to do as well is we need to connect those low-income workers with opportunities to help them remove barriers, whether it's to help them find transportation or childcare, doing for a temporary fix to get them back in the workforce. Because we know when Baltimore County works, Baltimore County wins. And there's enough jobs out here for anybody that wants one. Every community deserves to be safe. It is the responsibility of the county executive to ensure the safety of every resident in the county. And I have to tell you, and I said this 2 months ago, with all due respect, Chief Hyatt, she has to go. With morale at an all-time low, with recruitment at an all-time low, she's out of touch with reality. And I talked to her and Johnny O, and I asked them, why are we not giving more funding to our police? And they say statistically crime is down. And crime is not down in Baltimore County. The problem is the police officers are less engaged. I was at an FOP bull roast, and they tell me that Baltimore County police officers is the only profession that can't use their instincts, because if they pull somebody over and something happens, they get asked, why'd you pull them over? That's not right. We need to give our police officers more support, and I got a plan for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower their health care costs. That's the first thing we're going to do. 2, we're going to allow the Baltimore County police officers that want to take their vehicle home, let them take them home. We're the only county that doesn't let our police officers take their vehicles home. They don't feel supported. And I will say this as well. The bottom line is I get asked a lot of questions, many interviews. Darren, what are you going to do about attracting more people to come to Baltimore County? What are you going to do about growing Baltimore County? What about this? It all starts with public safety. It all starts with public safety. If people don't feel safe, they're not going to go out on the weekends. You hear what's going on in Fells Point. You know, we used to like to go out there and have dinner. People are not going out there no more. So the bottom line, it starts with public safety. We need to let our police officers do their job. We shouldn't be giving more rights to criminals. We need to give more the rights back to the police officers. And that's what I'll do as your next Baltimore County executive. You know, you hear a lot about the current executive year, people in office, and they talk about things that are going on in Connecticut, Detroit. I don't care what's going on in any other county. I want to focus what's going on in Baltimore County, and I'm not going to wait for anybody to come fix it. We're going to be the change, and we're going to make the change for the county. And I'm also going to tell you this right now, that I make a pledge today that I will always put Baltimore County residents first. Any decision that's made by me, it's going to say, how does this benefit our community? How does this benefit our children? How does this benefit our small business owners? That's the lens I'm going to look at. And I'm not for, and I know some people don't like this, but I'm not for giving more Section 8 housing and more vouchers. I'm very sorry about that. I'm a firm believer that we need to strengthen our foundation. It doesn't make sense for all this overdevelopment, flooding our county with low-income housing. We're a sanctuary county as well. They're bringing in people from, we don't know where they're coming from. We have kids in school that can't speak English. We have kids in school, our teachers are already stressed to the max. Our schools are already over capacity. Like I said, my family, yes, we grew up low-income housing when I was younger. I understand we want to help people, but at the end of the day, we have to take care of Baltimore County residents first. For the first 2 years, I'm going to strengthen our foundation. I'm going to build up our schools. I'm going to fund our police and fully fund public safety. The last thing I'm going to say is the primary is coming July 19th. We're a few days away. I appreciate everybody's help here today, but like Al said, it's not about beating Johnny O in November. It's about me winning July 19th. Many easy things you guys can do for me. I need your help. You can take one of my flyers, take a picture of it, and send it to everybody on your phone. You can take a picture of it and message everybody on Messenger, even the 1,000 people you don't know. They might not live in Baltimore County. Send it to them too. The more people know my name, I believe the more people look into me, they'll see my character, they'll see my integrity, and they'll see I am the guy for this job. So what I will say is this: honor me with your vote, and I will deliver you a safe Baltimore County. Thank you.
We'll make America great again. Make you proud to be American. Working together with all our might. We're gonna build it and we'll do it right. Standing united, we'll never fall. Undivided and one for all. Make it stronger than it's ever been. We'll make still a whole lot of wounds to be healed, to bridge our great divide.